And welcome back to Ozarks Live. It's now time for the man with a mind and memory for history to take over and tell us a bit more about the place we call home. Give a listen. Welcome back. I'm at the History Museum on the Square. I'm with Executive Director John Sellers, the man who knows everything you'd want to know about the history of Springfield. And John, I'm going to throw you one. I want to know what the deal is with the big cup that used to be on the front of the building right across from Evangel, right on Glenstone. What's the deal?
What's the deal? It's gone. It's not there.
Yeah, I know. It's poof, poof. Now, I know the only thing I know about it is Lily Tulip.
That's it. Lily Tulip was in the very early part, very late 1940s, early 1950s. Springfield put out an effort and really attracted some wonderful new industry to the area.
Yeah.
And one of those was Lily Tulip Cup, which was a cup manufacturer, paper cups at the time. And they came here and built that building. W.W. Johnson Construction built that building. They were famous for pre-stressed concrete and so on.
Okay.
And they wanted it to be very iconic that they were in the cup business. So they actually formed up and plastered and made this huge concrete cup on the front of the building.
Okay, wait. We got to stop for a second. Plastered?
Yeah, they did. And this was concrete over a wire frame, just troweled on to make it look smooth, and then painted to look like the iconic Lily Tulip Cup with the little lily deal around the top edge. So they opened in 1952. It was a huge plant and beautiful. They kept their grounds absolutely beautiful.
Oh, they were pristine.
Facility.
Yes.
And it was all paper cups at that time. But as time went on, they developed more and more new types of cups. And when that plant was at its height, with about 1,600, 1,700 employees, they were making everything from big tubs for Kentucky Fried Chicken all the way down to little bitty cups that you get a pill in at the hospital. And they made coffee cups that had handles that folded out so you wouldn't burn your fingers.
I remember those, sure.
Then they got into styrofoam, and were making foam cups. Everything under the sun was out there. It was a masterwork of engineering inside that building, and very proud of it. But it changed hands several times. Ultimately, it became Solo. It was part of the Solo Cup chain, and finally in 2011, they closed up here. It was to the point where the cups were getting more plastic, less paper. And to retrofit this plant and make it work, it was just easier to go somewhere else.
It kind of speaks to, just the way that not only Springfield, but countries do develop. You go from manufacturing to service, and that's the natural progression of things, but it really speaks to, Lily Tulip really speaks to the fact that at one time Springfield really was a manufacturing center for the United States of America.
And still are, but people just aren't as aware of it. You've got like Kraft Foods, you've got French's Mustard.
Right.
You've got all these plants that are here that you drive by and you never notice them.
Right. You don't think of, oh, this is a manufacturing center, but it actually was and is.
Right.
Can you say enough about what Lily Tulip did as far as the economy of this area?
No. And so many people, as I said, at its height, it had over 1,600 employees. So many people, so many families were at least in part supported by jobs there at Lily Tulip, whether it was making cups or working in the cafeteria or wherever it was, working in the office. It was an amazing facility. My father worked there 26 years and took great pride in it.
So, although the cup may be gone, the building is still there.
Building's still there.
So every time you look, you are kind of looking back in history.
Absolutely.
John, always great to sit and talk with you.
You bet.
You got to drop by, see the museum. John, tell them how they get the information.
We're open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 5, and then on Sunday from 1 to 5. And you can reach us at 831-1976 or historymuseumonthesquare.org.
Thanks, John.
You bet.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. We'll be right back.